Here's a Beyond the Pitch podcast quick hit from the WVSA Digital Network.
Again, I think it goes back to your previous comment that we do our best with ODP to recognize that players' primary source of player development is with their clubs. Our coaching staff coaches all across the state of West Virginia. So guess what? They're busy out there providing coaching is for our players, from the youngest players all the way up to our highest level of college soccer here in West Virginia. Our coaches are out there actively coaching. So we designed a calendar to, again, augment and enhance that player development. So we started, as you mentioned last week, with our littles, the U12s and U14s, to kickstart that program. And then we'll get everybody together in November and have then training sessions in November, one weekend, early November 12th and 13th. And then we will have then another training session in December. And then in January, our older players will go to an event in North Carolina. Our youngers will stay here because it's more developmentally appropriate for them to stay local in January. Then in February, we'll all go to another event. So that event would be in Virginia and some Virginia friendlies. And when I say events, we would be playing games against other state ODP teams. So in January, we would play against North Carolina, Virginia, etc. And then in January, we would play against Virginia, Maryland, etc. So the folks of us near us in New Jersey would play against our Region 1 compatriots at those events. And then we would then give a little bit of pause because we know that club soccer picks up early in the spring, and into that spring period, the players would be with their club teams the entire time. And we would absolutely support that and celebrate their successes. And then we would come back together in May for a mini camp that would help us prepare for our June event. And the June event is a tournament that then kickstarts and opens up the regional process. So what happens for our players is they participate in the state level, and then we have a calendar program that concludes in June. And then in the June event, some players will be identified to then move on within a very similar process to ours for aspiring players who are ready for that next level of challenge to compete with players from all across Region 1, and then to be coached by even another set of aspiring, talented coaches.